Hey everybody, good afternoon. Today we're going to do an excerpt which actually shows us that a family that values puts a good value system into a young person's life can actually, in a gender neutral way, be raising a very sensitive and intelligent human being. Now, in my years editing Hello Magazine, I've obviously interviewed some of the finest people around us. And one of them is very much in the news right now. It's Adar Poonawala of the Serum Institute. We see him every day on the news talking about the new Oxford vaccine and the deliverables and when they feel it's going to be effective, efficacious, and it's going to be out among us and, saving us from the terrible fallouts of this pandemic. So when I interviewed Adar, we had flown on his private charter plane from Mumbai to Pune to his wonderful mansion there. And he was so courteous. I remember he was more than willing to sit with me and chat at length about anything that we were interested in talking to him about. So, a narrative that I found very, very indicative of a good family value system was about his mom and how she was all about philanthropy, and also the fact that his father did not protect him and overprotect him as the only son of a very large scale pharmaceutical family. So I will read to you passages around Adar's life story, and I think we should all take it as a exemplary upbringing. We should all understand that if you have parents who actually put down a very, very good blueprint for you, then there are chances, whether you're a man or a woman, that you will treat people in your life with a great deal of sensitivity, and you will build a marriage or a family with that level of understanding and intelligence and wisdom. So the first paragraph is called Moving Out of the Nest. So typically a rite of passage out of mama's zone and into manhood world over happens at 18, when most young men leave home to study in university and wake up to a self-sufficiency that they have never known. Not only are they responsible for maximizing their grades, often burning the midnight oil with no mama making coffee for them, but they have to manage the laundry, the cooking, the budgeting, take turns at cleaning, if sharing an apartment, and even manage their own bank accounts. Adar Poonawala, and this is a subhead, on boarding school as his rite of passage. In my tenure as executive editor at Hello, I was fortunate to hear the CEO of the world-renowned Serum Institute, Adar Poonawala, share that there was no way he could rest on his father Cyrus Poonawala's laurels, and neither was he sheltered and pampered as many would assume. I was sent to the Westminster boarding school in the UK for 10 solid years. It wasn't a fancy school. In fact, it was partly like jail. You had to survive against all odds. You got substandard food, people who wanted to take advantage of you. It was a lot like real life itself. It didn't matter who you were, you had to make certain relationships, you had to show respect to certain people to avoid being bullied. But it is perhaps the only way to become your own person. It definitely shaped me. Or I might have turned out like one of those entitled, useless Gen X rich kids who don't really have any focus. I remember repeatedly asking Adar whether he had wasted any time on, the experimental scene. Young people often get led astray by their peer group, especially if they're very hyper elite like Adar was. And there are fast cars, fast women, there are drugs, there are psychedelic nights out, and Pune is known to be a campus city. It's probably got the youngest population in Maharashtra for sure. So it would have been very easy for a hyper elite kid like Adar to go that route, but clearly his parents were way too sorted to let that happen. Adar applauds his father for having the vision to launch the Serum Institute, but also prove that he is more with the times in his decision making, winning over his father and his team's confidence. After spending 10 years in the purported not so fancy Westminster boarding school in the UK, Adar returned in 2001 and joined the family business. At that stage, the Serum Institute of India was in about 20 to 30 countries. Says he, at 21 in 2001, when I came back, very soon I found myself taking over a lot of responsibilities. I love to travel and expand the business, and my father was always a very poor traveler, so he always preferred doing business within India. I took Serum to 147 countries in a decade. And he has only been involved with the business for all of 16 years. So that is something that, and I also found Adar to be a real gentleman. He was very humble. He welcomed us into the home. He sat down with me, did this interview in private. He didn't insist that you have to liaise with the manager and I'll come back to you on the mail, nothing like that. And I remember when we had the Hello Hall of Fame Awards, I think in 2017, he was actually burning with high fever. But because we were awarding him for his philanthropic Clean Up City Pune initiatives, he came in with that burning fever out of his goodwill and his, good manners, good Parsi upbringing. And he sat next to me and we were recording this interview, and he actually said, Sangeeta, put your hand on my forehead, it's really on fire. And it was. And he was perspiring profusely, but he came on stage, he took his award, he made his speech, and then he excused himself and probably took a private charter back to Pune and went to bed. But these are the these are the gentlemen that are few and far between around us, who keep their appointment with individuals, with institutions, who set targets, meet targets, respect the people around, respect the time of the people around them, and who are not entirely filtering the world through the vision of their elite superiority or their elite positions in society. So that was today's excerpt from Mind the Gap. So Adar actually went on to grow Serum into a US dollar 9.1 billion business. And as often happens, he says, I never could probably have had the vision and done what my father did, starting with Serum. But now, to stay competitive, to grow, to develop new products, expand in other countries is critical. And getting my dad to think like me would be like getting a septuagenarian the latest iPhone and expecting him to learn how to run an office on it in a day. It's not part of his mental makeup. So it's a beautiful story of cross-generational evolution in Mind the Gap. And I hope that you all are picking up this book. It's downloadable virtually for nothing as an ebook. It just encourages authors when people take an interest in what they write and what they produce. I'm already on to other projects, but Mind the Gap was a vision and a dream, and I feel it has a purpose higher than anything that the people in it or me have to do with. It is a beautiful set of anecdotes, stories, ideas, analysis on where modern and young India needs to focus, if they're seeking happiness, if they're seeking a sense of balance in their existence. Please do buy your copy, download it on Amazon, let me know your thoughts, leave a review for me, and God bless all of you out there who are watching me, trying to stay motivated and uploading videos daily. Lots and lots of love, and signing off. Bye-bye.